What is up, everyone? It is Speed here, and today we're going to be following Miracle's Mage that allowed him to plow through Team Secret. He absolutely dumpstered them to the point where he made AM look broken. So if you guys are excited for this broken video, if you could click the like button, I would really appreciate it. Maybe we could get this video to 2,000 likes, which I know is a lot. It's a lot, but it is Miracle. It's Mage. He beat Team Secret. Not a lot of people beat Team Secret. That's uncommon. So let's get a couple of likes going for that. But we're going to be looking at his farming patterns, see how he went 9-2 against a team comp that could threaten him in a lot of ways. Let's see how he found farm against the best team in the world. And of course, you guys know the next announcement. I do just want to give you guys a heads up on a couple things. I will be doing a mid guide. Not going to tell you which hero it is yet, but go check it out. I recommend you sign up to the GameLeap website so you can get access to that guide when it does come out. And for everyone who is subscribed, keep your eyes out for a mid guide. I've been doing a couple of support things lately. A lot of support video. I done a Windreacher support, Oracle, 2 videos just on laning, like the first 10 minutes. And I think you're gonna enjoy it a ton if you go click the link down below right now and go check it out. Alright, quickly, look at the draft. So currently Nigma has a very much of a 4 protect 1 strategy, right? We have Beastmaster, Mirana, Batrider, Warlock. A lot of heroes that can fight in their early to mid game, right? They all have some sort of a early game nuke or spell that can allow them to enable themselves in the early game. So picking an AM definitely makes sense just from the perspective of Nigma, right? You have 4 heroes that can fight, having an Mage is good. On top of that, what we're going to see is the Warlock plus an Mage is definitely a pretty good combo, right? You have this nice little lane where you're sustaining the Mage, he can play defensive and chill. On top of that, I think Team Secret's draft doesn't have a hero that can lane against AM that particularly dumpsters him, right? And because of that, well, I would say that they could do fine, right? They could run Enchantress plus Kunkka, potentially in the offlane and just run at the AM. But with the Warlock, I think he's going to do okay. And that's the big thing you want to look for when you're picking Mage. Number 1, just make sure you have a good lane. And number 2, make sure that you're going to have time to find space throughout the match, right? Because his team can fight early game, right? He has a good Batrider or potentially a Batrider mid that we've seen from Weehaw. He knows he's going to be able to have a lot of space this game, which is huge. So good lane, he's going to have space, and therefore he can potentially carry the match. Now, I don't think AM is particularly good against Phantom Lancer, but I really do believe that Nigma just wanted to run a 4 protect 1. Team Secret does lack stuns to catch Mage, right? Aether Remnant is mediocre. You have to set up with the Yules, which you can counterspell. Venge Missile is basically never going to hit an Mage. It's hard to X an Mage if he sees you coming. And Enchantress obviously provides nothing against Mage in terms of lockdown for the most part. So yeah, they go for the Mage, and let's check out how he farms. Alright, so hopping into the lane, looks like he's against a Vengeful Spirit and a Void Spirit. I would say this definitely isn't too difficult of a lane early on. The reason why I say that is because Venge has very low attack range, so it's actually hard for her to harass you. So all Miracle really has to do here is secure CS and pull creep aggro, which you're going to see him do quite often, right? Pulls it back from Yapzor, which is going to prevent him from having to overextend. On top of that, great play here. This is actually a really top tier play. So after he pulls creep aggro right here, what does he see? Range creep dying, melee creep dying. So what do you do? What do you do to get both of them? You auto attack the melee creep. I know this sounds simple, but in practice most people never do this and they lose their range creep. But basically what I'm saying is kill the melee creep that the range creep is focusing, which he does here, and then you're going to have enough time to get both, which is actually huge. Unfortunately, it gets denied, but obviously you guys see the practicality, assuming you can contest. On top of that, really good blink forward here. Seeing that Yapzor went to the side means this is a 2v1 scenario, and if you guys watch my videos, you should know one of the keys to winning the laning stage in side lanes is looking for 2v1s. If you can find an opportunity to go on someone when they are alone and their support can't help them, you're gonna win. Alright, so I really love this game here, guys, because as you can tell, Team Secret is currently working Nigma. It's 9 minutes in and they're already 2k ahead, and a large portion of that is Nisha on his Kunkka is just popping off. He is absolutely huge, and he's actually jungling 9 minutes in, just taking Ancients, which actually allows his Enchantress to get mid-farm, and therefore the levels on Secret right now is absurd. Like, they're just stomping Nigma at this point in time. And you're going to see how Miracle actually comes back in a game like this, because very often people ask me, Speed, what do you do when you die twice in a row? Miracle doesn't die a single time after this game, right? He doesn't die again. And that's really the crazy part, right? He goes 9-2 in this match, and let's see exactly why that happens, because at this point in the game, it's looking rough, right? Secret is collapsing all upon the lanes, right? They have multiple heroes that can just bully him out of a lane, right? If Kunkka shows up to any lane, AM can't farm it. PL can probably bully him out of lane. I would even argue that Ench can do it at this point. So what is Miracle going to do? First things first, he goes towards the mid lane. Mid lane, in my opinion, is one of the best lanes to farm as long as the enemy team isn't surrounding it. So I quickly want to mention, guys, you see in this clip here, he's farming on mid, okay, good. However, a lot of the time in 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K MMR pubs, doesn't really matter, it's just pubs, people will fight mid a lot, and therefore, you should go top. However, in this game, we're going to see that Secret is bottom and top right now. They don't have a lot of heroes mid. They have the Enchanters farming it, right? They're just kind of playing the farming game, but they're not really committing to a fight. And because of that, mid lane is very safe for Miracle, and therefore it's really good that he's farming it. However, you can see that he's not wasting HP. He sees that the Enchantress is farming the mid lane, and because of that, he can't farm it, right? He's willing to admit, okay, Enchantress is way too strong for me. Yes, it's a support, but it's Enchantress, and I know you guys might not understand that matchup, but basically Enchantress can easily bully you out of the lane with only one creep. Next up, let's see this really good farming rotation to top here. What we're going to see is 4 heroes go bottom, and therefore he makes a really nice rotation towards the top lane. On top of that, he has an Iron Talon. Without Iron Talon, honestly, I think he would probably lose this game, and I'm going to keep saying this till the end of the time, Iron Talon needs a nerf. But nonetheless, this is really good movement around the map, and it's what you guys have to do in your pubs as well. If he wasted time jungling there, or went back to mid, or even shifted towards that bottom fight, instantly his game ends. He would lose. Because then he's going to get his Battle Fury too late to the point where he can't cut waves, and therefore they'd be able to catch him. Yeah, he would just lose. So guys, keep that in mind. If you aren't able to find the open lane as Mage, and trust me, in 99.9% of games there will be one if you are good enough, you will find it, then you win, right? You win if you find the open lane. At least if you consistently do it. Not always, right? But a good amount of the time. The next thing I want to mention here is the importance of him pushing out this creep wave here. So we're not too much further ahead, it's 13 minutes, 15 seconds in, and he's going to push this wave. It is by a tier 2 tower, but what have we addressed this game? We've addressed that Team Secret doesn't have spells that easily catch the Mage, right? They don't have spells that immediately lock him down. The main concern he has, in my opinion, is X. He has to be a little bit careful about getting X'd. But if he assumes Kunkka cannot catch him, right, Kunkka has to come around here, he might get vision of him, be able to reflect X or just blink away, then he can push in the lane. On top of that, it's a huge deal that he shoves the lane first here, so that it, number one, doesn't die, and he can jungle backwards now, which is the benefit of playing top, right? When you play top here and you push in this wave and then go back, you're going in a direction that is safer, right? Your next camp is safe. However, if you went from a wave here to here, right, which is farming on the bottom side, if he went from here to here, he's actually putting himself in a more dangerous scenario. All right, and let's see some advanced movement here. So he just got kicked out of top for a short period of time, but a big concept that I think a lot of carry players mess up is that they get kicked out of a lane and then they immediately say, oh, I can't go there anymore, or they'll never even consider. 45 seconds ago, he pushed in top, right? He goes back to the jungle for about 20 seconds, then he immediately sees 3 heroes mid, and he instantly shifts back towards top. This is what you have to do in your pubs. You cannot waste time lollygagging around fights when they show. You have to be staring at the minimap when you are hitting neutral camps to read the movement, and then only show up to fights giga late, right? That is what Mage does. He only shows up giga late. It's funny, he's actually getting pressure here out by the Kunkka. You can see the Kunkka understands, hey, I can shut down Miracle, so I will. And you can see it's really a big pattern for Miracle. A lot of players don't understand that Dota is patterns, but if you fall off your farming pattern, which should actually be a pattern, you're going to lose. So what is that pattern? It's push in top if he sees enemy heroes in the mid to bottom lane. Then if they come top, he's going to back to the small camp, then the large camp, then to his triangle. Once they leave the top side because they see Miracle not there anymore, he will go back top. And that is the farming rotation I want you guys to understand. So basically it's top, jungle, triangle. Oh, they showed mid bottom? Okay, I go back to top, I rinse repeat. Top, jungle, triangle. And then you can really just see he's mirroring the movement of the enemy team here, right? They go top, he goes towards the mid lane. He's even jungling here. He does understand that they're relatively grouped up on the top side here, so he's not going to go too deep. On top of that, he makes his first TP here. I think he just felt like it was such a free fight. He sees the Enchantress bottom. He understands that the enemy team is overextending at a tier 2 dive, right? Fighting at tier 2s in this patch is brutally difficult, right? They're so strong. They have so much HP. They do an insane amount of damage, and you can glyph them. So yeah, it's really brutal to play at tier 2 towers, and therefore I like the decision from Miracle to actually TP in there. Unfortunately for him, Yepsor, being the god player that he is, actually manages to snipe his Battle Fury courier. And that's really the mentality I want to get through your guys' heads before I move on to the mid game here. If you can't find farm in your 2k3k MMR match where people aren't intentionally sniping your couriers, where there isn't a Kunkka who's running at you with his armlet timing, right, to just bully you out of the lane, not even to kill you, just to bully you off your farming pattern, that's not going to happen in your games, right? It basically will never happen. The only time it will happen is if you put yourself in the bad scenario. If you're getting pressured, it's because you're moving incorrectly. It's because your movement is off. And that is how I want you to think about Dota. You can always find farm if you are identifying the open farm quick enough and mirroring the enemy team and shoving in waves aggressively. If you do not do this, you will lose the game quickly, your team will have no space, and you will have no space. And you guys want to see how broken Iron Talon is? It's literally 23 minutes in, my man's found a pupil gift and he's not dropping it. This item's broken, just saying that again. It needs a nerf. It needs a nerf. 2 armor, 15 attack speed, and half a creep's HP. How's that balanced? It's not. Alright, so let's do a little bit of a mini game together just to kind of try to get in the head of Miracle. This is something I really like doing when I'm watching games myself. But right now, we see the Bat Rider top, Warlock top, Mirana mid, Beastmaster bottom. We see the Phantom Lancer bottom. We see the Venge in this area as well. It looks like that's a Hawk scouting map from the Beastmaster. We see the Enchantress mid. So clearly, Secret is splitting the map up like this. If we look at the mini map here, right, Nigma has the left side of the map, and what Secret is trying to do is shove them in, right? Secret is basically trying to push a wall into Nigma, right? They're trying to crush Nigma. Like, let's say the left side of the minimap is the wall, they get crushed in. That's what Secret's trying to do. So they shove in bottom, they shove in mid, and then they're going to try to pinch. Potentially, right? You don't know that for sure. They might just let the PL farm, right? Obviously, they have 2 scaling cores here. They might just let them farm. But nonetheless, Miracle pushes in top here. He cuts this tree. Really nice Battlefield usage to cut the tree here, just to scout out Matama Man coming. Sees the rotation of Matama Man, potentially wants to go for a miss a kill. However, Miracle currently understands that they could have, if they decided to, shifted from mid to top right now, and if they did, they're right in this jungle, right? That's just based upon how fast they can move. So if we open a free camera, that was my random guess, right? I haven't looked at this replay beforehand, guys. I'm not kidding. But they're here, right? And that is how you become a high MMR player. You have to be able to say, okay, they were mid about 2-3 seconds ago. How fast can they get to me based upon what their heroes allow them to do? Maybe if they have a Storm Spear, you have to be a bit more careful, or a Slark, right? Something like that. You have to be a bit more careful, but based on their heroes, I made the assumption they were here. And now you're going to see Miracle makes about the same assumption, right? He shifts towards the top side here. Zai actually ends up showing on the outpost, so he gets out. But just keep that in mind, guys. You have to be able to read movements, even without seeing the enemy team, based upon the last, 5 to 10 seconds of the match. Upcoming here, he's going to use his Manta, and I want to talk about why. So, he pops his Manta, and what's the reason, guys? It's very important to note why he doesn't hit this wave. It's because they could be mid, right? It's just the thought that they could be mid. Now, he ends up seeing them bottom here, right? He sees them all collapse on bottom, and he's like, oh, okay, they're bottom, right? I guess I can do this myself. He decides just to shift more towards top just to farm up the area, right? Already has the Mantas on the mid case, so he doesn't have to do it himself. But you can see the decision making. If he doesn't see people, he doesn't take the risk, right? There's no reason to take the risk here. All he has to do at this point in the game is play it safe, play to win later on, right? He's trying to hit his timings. A lot of Mage players, they get antsy. They hit Manta, and they're like, oh, I can fight. Manta doesn't let him fight this game. He's gonna pop Manta, Kunkka's gonna hit the creeps once, and then all of a sudden, boom, his illusions are gone, he does no damage. Right? He barely can burst the Void Spirit, he can't kill this Enchantress. I mean, look, Puppy literally has a Necro 3, a Hooded Defiance, and a Vanguard. Do you think you're killing Enchantress? No. Are you killing his Venge auras? No. Are you killing PL? Probably not. Kunkka? Definitely not. And therefore, he needs a later timing. The only fights he can take right now is on people like Zai, who are clearly out of position, and that's what he does. Gets gone on by Matama Men here. Doesn't panic, understands that Matama Men will have to disengage, so he doesn't early pop his Manta. Then he finds Matama Man separated here, pops the Manta to burn his mana. Really nice golem there onto Matama Man, and he's just going to chase him down. And the only reason why this is a good fight is because Zai overextended. And that's what you're trying to do as Mage. You're not trying to take 5v5s if you don't have to. Your hero's trash in 5v5s unless you can mana void some Storm Spirit, right? Because Storm Spirit has a lot of mana. Skywrath, Zeus, they all have a lot of mana. So if they're low on mana, you can do a ton of damage. Otherwise, you need to look for fights like Miracle just did. That is the only time you hop off your farming pattern. Now at this point in the game, they're able to take a very nice Roshan. I really love the timing and just play from Nigma here. Super smooth. So, okay, swap comes out. Zai cancels it with the lasso. He's going to get X'd. At this point, he has Aegis, so he can play a little bit more aggressive. Just to be clear, guys, right? The only reason he can go in like this is because he has Aegis. Otherwise, he'd be standing here, or he'd be standing on the south side of the river and going in second or third. Nonetheless, gets X'd up here. Torrent came out late, looking for an opportunity to go in, sees Matama Man is separated. And now, why does he walk up to Matama Man? It's because he doesn't want to commit his blink here. If he commits his blink, they can kind of all in on him. Not completely, but they could do it to some extent. But nonetheless, doesn't commit blink. Mana Void, now he commits the blink to chase, and he's able to secure the kill because of it. Really nice play. If he committed the blink earlier, Matama Man would have had a larger gap to disengage, and there's a chance he would have gotten away. On top of that, you're going to see he wastes absolutely no time on trying to kill Puppey, and this is what we call understanding your target priority to a T. Literally, the guy's right next to him. Does he waste time? No. He kills the Necro Creep instead. He understands that Enchantress will take forever to kill. His targets have to be the Kunkka, the Void Spirit, the Venge, or the PL. Right? And this is just being a top tier player. He understands that, okay, Enchantress is a support, but she's different. Also, Puppey is really farmed. He has 12k net worth. Alright, moving on here, we're going to see a smoke play coming out from Miracle. And once again, we're going to see some good target priority. Goes on top of Zai, hits him with the Abyssal, drops the Manta, and he's going to go for the Mana Void to secure the kill. Once Zai ran out of mana, Miracle understands that he's now going to do basically no damage. And that's the reality of Mage. If you run out of mana, you kind of just do no damage. We see a really nice lasso into arrow here. Good combination of spells, understanding who they can and cannot kill. Clumsy net onto the Enchantress, and only because she's completely surrounded, he goes for her. And that, guys, is how you play team fights. I know it's hard, it's because it's from game to game, but basically you have to identify who can you kill, and are they a valuable kill? Because maybe you can kill a CM in the late game, right? Maybe you're playing against some underfarmed CM who has 200 net worth. That's a bit unrealistic. And you jump her every single fight. Maybe you jumping her is making you waste time when you should be jumping some hero with 12k net worth or 13k net worth that maybe you can't kill as fast, but you could at least bully out of the fight, right? Because even if, let's say he doesn't kill Zai in that top fight there, what's going to happen? Zai's going to be completely out of mana, be low on health, and he can't actually help. And this is what you guys have to understand. Sometimes going on people isn't always about killing them. You can actually just burn their resources. And this is about where this game ends. And honestly, most of the reason why I think Miracle wins this game is because number one, he had a good lane support, a hero that could sustain him, so that's a big thing if you're going to pick AM, right? If you pick him with an AA or maybe with an Oracle who can't help you zone the lane, you might struggle, right? You might have a really hard time, but if you pick AM with an Ogre or a Bane or a Warlock that can help sustain you in the lane or protect you, I think you're going to have a lot better of a time, and that's a big deal. On top of that, the most important thing in this game is not his items, because he goes the most standard AM build in the game, which is Battle Fury into Manta into Abyssal. Sure, he had 2 Wraith Bands and a wand, which is important, but really what is more important is his mid-game, where he doesn't get picked off once, because he's always staring at the minimap. If you guys are trying to get better at Dota, and you do not constantly look at the minimap, you will not have enough information to make informed decisions, and you'll be playing purely based off luck. Right? You'll be playing based off luck, and that does not work. So thank you guys for watching, as Miracle is going to end up winning this game against literally the best team in Europe at the moment. If you guys enjoyed this video and you like the format, you like learning about these topics, let me know in the comment section down below, as well as liking the video. And of course, I recommend you check out the GameLeap website. I'm going to be doing a core coaching replay analysis soon. I actually just did one on a Wraith King game, telling him actually how he could fix all of his problems, very similar to this AM game. He had bad farming patterns, and because of that, he ended up going down a couple times. He wasted his time in the laning stage, and yeah, I just go into depth about hero that can jungle, right? A core that can jungle, because it's a lot different. The information's different. But if you guys are interested in that, sign up for the GameLeap website down below. It should come out in maybe a couple days, and I hope to see you there. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and peace.